Good afternoon, dear students. I am Mr. S. Pandey, Assistant English Teacher, the HVK New High School, Shaiwad. Welcome you under the program Pasthamanu Panchamrit organized by the joint effort of the HV Kapadia Group of Schools and GSTV. Today, under this program, I am going to discuss about the paper format of SSC examination, and I will try to facilitate the students how to write the question paper easily and efficiently. So, dear students, moving to our paper format, let's see the first question here in part A. In part A, there are 50 questions. Each question contains equal marks, and each question has 4 options, and from those options you have to select the proper answer and encircle the just right answer on the paper sheet. Here the question number 1, comprehension. There are 7 questions, and these 7 questions are based on the extracts, and those extracts are taken from our textbook. Probably there are 4 extracts, and 2 questions are asked from 3 beginning extracts, and from the last extract 1 question is asked. And for those questions, as I have told you, 4 options are given. Sometimes what is noticed here, that students copy down the whole paragraph while attempting the questions, but that is not proper way of answering the question. You have to read the paragraph carefully and after that attempt the questions. Sometimes synonyms and antonyms are asked from the paragraph, and there also students used to write the entire paragraph, and there they make mistakes. So be careful while attempting this question. Don't be hasty. Read it carefully and answer that. And moving to question number 2. Here, from question number 8 to 12, that is asked from Black Book, supplementary reading. Supplementary reading means there are 23 lessons, and from those 23 lessons, 2 paragraphs are given, and that is very important. Supplementary is here given the weightage of 10 marks. So for that, what will you do? First of all, read all the lessons of supplementary reading carefully, because those lessons are not explained elaborately in your classrooms. So you have to go through all the lessons carefully, and if you have gone through all the lessons carefully, it will be very easy for you while you are attempting these questions. And if you answer them correctly, that will bring you 10 marks. Only 5 sentences, 5 marks. So it is really a melting question for you. Now you see, comprehension. Under the number 3 here, comprehension, that is unseen comprehension. That is taken neither from your textbook nor from the supplementary, but the paragraph you haven't seen that, you haven't read that. So there also the same method is applicable. You read the paragraph carefully and attempt the questions. Don't try to write the whole paragraph. Now here on number 4, non-verbal comprehension. Non-verbal comprehension means you may be given some type of data, timetable, or just ticket, or checks, and from those data or tickets or from non-verbal text, so many questions, means 5 questions are asked, and these questions are very easy. If you go through the given data or given the information, you can find those answers very easily. Here, moving to here number 5, verb forms. Verb forms, you have to select 5 right answers, and they will bring 5 marks for you. So, what will you do while attempting this question? First of all, read the given paragraph carefully. Decide the tense of the given paragraph, and after that decide whether the sentence in which you are going to fill up the right form of verb is in active sense or passive sense. And after deciding that, you can select the right answers. Here, under word formation, and these words are taken from your textbooks only. So, under word formation, you may be asked nouns, verbs, adjectives, or adverbs. So, after reading the paragraph, apply the right word and you can get their 3 marks. Idioms and phrases. Idioms and phrases are also textual. And in this question also, you are given 3 underlined words are phrases or idioms. And for those underlined idioms or phrases, you are given options. And from those options, you have to opt the right option and encircle with your black pen on the answer sheet. And here are conjunctions. Conjunctions means there are so many conjunctions, but generally conjunctions like and, but, yet, that, so, therefore, or because, till, until, all just this type of conjunctions are asked. So, you have to be very careful while applying the conjunctions in the given paragraph, and that will bring just 3 marks. Editing. Editing, just under this question, you are given just articles, maybe conjunctions, maybe prepositions. So, here also it is in paragraph form only, blanks are given, and for each the 6 blanks you are given options. For each blank, 4 options are given, and from 4 options you have to select the right options and fill up the blanks. Now, moving to part B. Part B is very important for you because here your knowledge is examined, your content is examined, your knowledge about English is examined. Because in part A you are given options, but in part B there are no options. Here real test of your knowledge is done. So here in part B, you see from question number 1 to 10, these questions are based on the paragraph or extracts taken from your textbook. So, to answer these questions, you have to read the paragraph carefully. Don't try to copy the entire paragraph for any answer. Sometimes students are found to copy down the entire paragraph for any question. That is not a proper way of answering. Here, you may get 0 marks for that. So, first of all, read the paragraph and find out the right answer. Don't be hasty. Now, come to just question number 11. That is short note. Short notes may be asked from your textbooks. And these short notes are based on means lesson number 1 to 15. Examiner can ask any short note from any lesson, but probably, as from my experience, short notes are asked from lesson number 1, 2, 3, and lesson number 6. And after that, lesson number 11 and 12 are also important from the viewpoint of short note. Now, come to section B in part B, that is question number here 12 and 13. Here long questions are asked. You have to answer these questions in 2 to 3 sentences. But sometimes students write 8 or 10 sentences to support their answer. That is not proper way of answering these questions. So while answering these questions, keep in mind that these answers should not be more than 3 sentences. And for these 2 answers, you are getting 4 marks. And these questions are also based on your textual lessons. Now, here under question 14, completion of the lines. Completion of the lines means they are asked from your poetry section. Here 1, 3, 4, these 3 poems are given to be memorized from in your textbook. So just memorize or learn by heart these 3 poems and you can get 2 marks for this question. And here question number 15 to 17, complete the sentences or arrange the jumbled part. But as per my experience here in 6 to 7 years, they have asked the jumbled parts. But I am not telling you that you have to avoid complete the sentences. You have to just get knowledge about complete the sentences as well as the jumbled part. Here complete the sentences, you have to apply proper connectives like who, which, whom, what, that, all these things. And under here this question, arrange the jumbled parts and make a meaningful sentence. Here you read the sentence 2 or 3 times carefully. And after that decide the proper order of the words like subjects, verbs, objects or extra words, whatever it may be. But don't be hasty here. Now, here question number 18, change the text. Change the text. Here you have to face 3 or 4 types of questions. But no options are given. Under this head, change the voice or replace the pronouns or change the gender, or you may be asked change the tense, or sometimes you have to change the text into plural number or from plural to singular number. But generally, under this question, change the voice is asked. 2 or 3 times, change the gender and that you change into plural number have been asked. But mostly I have seen that under this question, change the voice is very important. And moving to section C, under part B, question number 19. Very good question. Only 4 just sentences give you how many marks you are given here? Report writing 5 marks. One thing, report writing must be written in simple past tense only. And your report must not be more than 100 or 125 words. Sometimes we find that students write the report of 1.5 pages, 2 pages. But in this way, they are killing the time. And finally, they don't find time to attempt the questions even though that they know the right answers. So, while you are attempting these questions, you must have the idea of time management. You should have to attempt this question within 5 to 7 minutes. Message and notice writing. Here options are not given, message or notice, but either of these 2 is asked, either message or notice. But very frequently, message writing has been asked so far. One or two times only notice has been asked. Message writing is very important for you, and that is very easy question. Now, reported speech means you have to convert the conversation from direct speech to indirect speech. And here, 5 types of sentences are asked. Assertive sentences, maybe interrogative sentences, maybe exclamative sentences, maybe sentences just wishing, best wishes or compliments. So, here different kinds of changes take place, just like change in pronouns, change in tenses, change in showing timing, words like yesterday, today, tomorrow, now, and like this. So, while you are changing this text, this conversation from direct to indirect speech, you must be careful that no inverted commas or no question marks will remain when you have turned the conversation into indirect speech. So, now question number 22 in section D under part B, that is paragraph writing or essay writing. Here 2 essays are given, and out of these 2 essays you have to attempt only one, and your paragraph must be near about 125 words or 150 words like that. The length of the paragraph is not important, but the content that you have used in that paragraph, that is important. When the examiner is assessing your supplementary, he reads and tries to find what you have applied and what is the weight of your ideas. So, length of the paragraph doesn't matter, but content matters. Now, question number 23, letter writing. Here also 2 letters are given, and out of these 2 letters you have to attempt only one. Here some common mistakes are seen. While students are attempting this question, they make very trivial, very small mistakes. But when the examiner assesses your supplementary, he keeps all these things in his mind. So, I would like to suggest you what kind of things should be avoided while you are writing this letter. One thing, when you are applying date in your letter, you have to write like this. Suppose today is 22nd, just note, today is 2nd February. So, how will we write that? You have to write the date like this. Second February, and after that here you have to apply the year. But what do the students do here? They write like this, 2. This is not the proper way of applying the date. You have to apply the date in your letter like this. And apart from this mistake, another mistake is done by the students. They make a very just simple mistake here. They write like this, dear friend. But after writing dear friend, dear father, dear uncle, whatever it may be, they don't apply here the comma. That is very just small mistake, but that matters a lot for the examiner. So after writing dear friend, dear uncle, dear father, or dear whatever it may be, you have to apply comma there. And at the end of letter, a very common mistake is done. Sometimes students write like this: your faithfully. That is wrong. While you are applying here faithfully, sincerely, truly, affectionately, you have to write like this: yours faithfully, and after that you have to apply comma. But most of students make this mistake. This is very common mistake. Here, this is the wrong method of writing. You have to opt this one, yours faithfully. In the same way, just I would like to guide you while you are writing the telephonic talk. Telephonic talk is very simple questions. Most of telephonic talks have just common sentences like there was a phone from your friend, or there was a phone from your classmate, or there was a phone from your teacher, principal when you had gone out. When I asked him or her if there was any message for you, he or she requested me to tell you that. And after that, writing, you have to apply the message that is given in the just last of the conversation, means in last two lines. So apply those 2 lines after writing the common lines, and you can get 4 marks. Dear students, in this episode, I think I have tried my best to explain this paper format, and so many questions are going to be discussed in the coming episode that will be just soon declared.